So I do want to just touch on the next book because like I want everybody to hear about the yes method, because so many, like I said, I do workshops on how to communicate to get what you want in divorce. And what you say about your yes method is so aligned with everything that we talk about at Better Than Bitter. I feel like we could have written a book together. And tell us or tell our audience here about, the idea around communication and how to get through mediation utilizing this idea around the yes.
Okay, so the yes method is really a way to break down how to get to the core of what it is that you want. And yes is just an acronym for your role. Like, what are you doing? And that's really asking you to stop and ask yourself, what is the core behavior that I'm displaying right now that's getting in the way of my figuring out my E, right? And the E is the emotion, it's the need, it's the motivation. This is very theoretical. I'll make it more practical in a second. It's the story, why we want what we want, right? And then the S is the activating agent, shelving the heated conversation caused by your behavior to get to the E, right? So you may, in a divorce, like both people really want the house. Okay. So the story is, I need the house. And what happens is people start either catastrophizing things. I'll never get another house. The kids will have to leave the school district, minimizing, oh, don't worry, you'll find something. Or burying their head in the sand. Like, I want to buy the house. Well, there's no way to pay for the house. Right. Or somebody else comes in, steamrollers. There's all these different things that we do that cause relationships and arguments to froth up, to escalate, right? But if we do the S, which is to shelve the heated conversation before it gets out of hand, we can take that pause, right? That's all shelving means, is pausing, step back and say, why am I minimizing what they want rather than thinking about what I need? Because that centerpiece, the E, the what you need, which links back in Better Apart to the clarity piece. Understanding your core motivation will bring you to the solution that actually tends not to contradict what the other person's core need is. That's how mediation works. It's actually crazy. I don't tell people to do these things. I kind of just do it with them. But that is really what's happening. So let's say both people want the house, and maybe, one person wants it because they think if they don't have it, the kids will never visit them. And the other person wants it because they think if they don't have it, they'll never be able to, afford another house. But I've seen this happen time and time again. We say, okay, let's do a little experiment. Let's rent an apartment in the summer. Let's say a family, you can rent a 3-month apartment or something. Let's see what happens. Let the kids start getting on a visitation schedule at that apartment, right? And they do that, and they say, then that parent starts to have heightened confidence that the kids are actually going to come and visit, right? And then maybe the parent who doesn't think they're going to be able to afford the house, they didn't realize how much they're going to get in support, or they didn't realize, with this new free time, they can get another job or whatever. Suddenly, nobody wants the house, right? That nobody liked the house in the first place, but they came in blazing guns that they needed the house, right? And so we unpacked it. But because what they were doing was, one person is getting all heated up and the other person is saying, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, which just gets the first person more heated up, and it gets into a cycle. And then if you go to court, well, good, that just cost you each $60,000, right? Plus more fights and more fights and more fights, rather than noticing what's going on and getting behind, the why of the what. So I don't know if I explained that very clearly. Listen to my TED Talk. It's much more clear.
I listened to it, and I think everybody should listen to it. Everybody Google Gabrielle Hartley. Actually, the link will be in the show notes of the...
It's getting along. If you do, yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
But it's like, I give an example there of somebody who didn't want their kid to have overnights at their father's house. And it turned out, and she was really arguing a lot about, because the kid's hair wasn't being done well for school. And when I in real life, I said, is that what this is really about? And she said, yes. And then I was like, really? Or is it that you miss your daughter? And when I said that, then she started to cry, and then she let him have the overnights. When I started to do this kind of law, I was only 30 when I was working in the courthouse. And so, you know, when you're 30 years old, you're pretty young, and you're just, you know, maybe if you're listening right now and you're 30, you don't feel young. You are young. You just don't realize that you're young. You know, I noticed that when I would reflect how people felt or what I thought they were feeling, they would go from angry to almost like teary, not crying, but teary. It'd be like the mask was broken. And when I broke through the mask, all of the arguing just melted away.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. It's like, and then you realize, oh, well, if that works on other people, that can also work on me. I'm like really hard on myself, and I say, what am I really fighting about? What am I really upset about? And an important thing from my second book, The Secret to Getting Along, is also, you know, I think I call it like hashtag relationship goals or something like that. It's like, do you care about this relationship that much? Because sometimes walking away is the best thing to do. That's maybe not the case when you have kids, but I just think that's a good life lesson. Some relationships are not meant to continue forever, and that's okay.